I'll tell you in this episode, bit of a spoiler. We're going to do another fake job. Again, I'm a very harsh critic of other jobs and industries. I've never been really treated in my career with any kind of benevolence or given a fake job in my life. So, those that do have the fake jobs, you will get chewed out at some point. Not in every episode. I can't say I'm going to do that because I have to genuinely think of, yeah, this is just, a bull crap uh, thing that's happening that you accept as a normal job. It exists in almost every city, and it's not good. Like for the public, these the fake jobs. They're jobs that leach from the system and contribute effectively nothing or very little. Like they take more than they give, and that's a fake job. Okay, like you could argue just being sociable and interacting with people daily is has value to it. It's a bit of a security mechanism too. If you're regularly interacting with people, you know what's going on. You know they're probably not up to any mischievous acts or anything like that. If you know them, what they're doing with their job, but the cost of these jobs is a problem. And most of the fake jobs I'm going to list are jobs that are higher paying jobs that pay at least six figures, and they're just completely unnecessary. Or in some cases, they're problematic. Like they're industries that create other industries for no reason, and they run you off the fiscal cliff, right? And that's what part of what the series is demonstrating. How if you don't manage your money right, you go off the fiscal cliff. But in this show, we don't really in this game we don't have fake jobs. Everything's a real job, but it is kind of rigged because it's not real communism here, because uh, we have this idea of interest taking money out of the system, and it doesn't like it's not a cooperatively owned bank. Therefore, it's not socialism. There are czars somewhere in a Soviet republic taking this interest out, and therefore forcing society to eventually collapse, much like happened in 1989, the Soviet Republic of 1989, and you know, the U.S. is in a very precarious situation right now. It could demonstrate that capitalism doesn't work because if you go off the fiscal cliff and if your solution's a bank bailout, I don't know how the U.S. is going to react to that. I know they're trying to do. They got a. Rather than calling it a bank bailout, they've been come up with this term called quantitative easing, which is the same thing. Like they just see it coming and they do it in little bits that are not reported in the news. But if you find out about that, definitely put that in the news to call these people out because you can't steal. That's stealing money. You're literally stealing from working people. You're stealing their money. You bail out banks, and just because you're used to it and it's been tolerated before, I don't think that's going to fly. You can call it whatever you want, but giving money to the people at top who create fake jobs and ruin the economy. Again, the fiscal cliff is uh, like you can't just borrow forever. Everything has an opportunity cost, right? So, and that's measured between nations too. So, if your nation's really inefficient and like let's say it borrows and buys a lot of stuff but doesn't pay anything back, at an international level, that becomes a big problem, and people start noticing that. And you could go to war with the world as one solution, and the other solution is to, be fiscally responsible, uh, cut the, cut the wasteful spending, get rid of the fake jobs, bring in UBI, right? Because again, UBI isn't a thing that gives you a lot of privilege in the world. It's just the basics for survival. But The truth is, if we have too many fake jobs, which we can't afford to maintain, that's the solution. That if you're not really contributing anything to society, you shouldn't have so much money that you can continue to purchase from society because you're draining society. You are the problem.